Zillie Holiday, or Zack, as I've known him my whole life, is a beats producer and rapper.
To your brain, cartoons out the trunk, the whole swamp in the drain. Bitch, I got it out the mud, I jack son like Jermaine. For a Citizen Kane, hit the pedal, touching keys, but I never sustain.
Although I enjoy his rap music quite a bit, I listen mostly to sample mixes because it's the perfect music for writing or editing videos. In this episode, I learned a lot about the music making process, overcoming negativity in a small town, and ultimately what it means to make it in this space.
You're listening to Bored with Nelly.
The weather here, actually, the last few days has been abysmal. Like it's rain and cloudy, but normally it's 25 and sunny. Like every fucking day. Like December 25th this year was Christmas, and it was like I was wearing a t-shirt outside. It was too hot.
Oh man, that sounds beautiful.
Are you jealous?
Dude, it's like -14. Like it doesn't even make sense, bro. It doesn't even make sense.
But it's like you're probably not distracted as much as I am. You probably can just no.
I don't know, bro. Like I'd rather be outside than inside, just surrounded by all these screens all the time.
I don't know. Like I thought like when I moved to Spain, like I would just be so hyper focused because I'd have so little distraction. I mean, I have friends here as well, but I have less friends here, obviously, and so I have less distractions. But it's quite the opposite. Like I have so much things I could do here. There's something every day going on. So,
bro, Spain is also like a skateboarder's mecca. Like,
is it?
I don't know if you see skateboarders around, but there's so many spots there, bro. I don't think like
I've seen parks, but I didn't know it was a big deal.
Dude, that's amazing. Like if I went there, I'd be like, look at that bench, look at that fucking manual pad, look at those stairs. You know what I mean? Just things that average people like just walk past and don't even.
Right. We got a lot of parks.
Bro, that's sick. Lots of parks, nice weather. Ugh.
How would you get anything done though? That's the problem. Like you'd be out skateboarding.
Nah, facts. Yeah, facts, man. God damn.
We haven't talked in a while.
Dude,
we went to high school together many years ago. It feels like I've got white hairs, brother. That's how old we're. I'm getting that old. So
yeah, I got some white chest hairs now too, bro.
No way.
I'm not kidding, bro. I'm not kidding. Literally, like, what was it? A couple weekends ago, I was looking. I'm like, God damn, what the fuck? Yeah, I don't know, dude.
I didn't know that was a thing at that age. I didn't know.
It's so weird, bro. Like time and just experiencing what has gone on these past, like our 20s.
Right.
Just flew by, bro. You don't even know. You don't even pay attention.
You don't even realize it. Yeah. And your time's up. That's when you start figuring out life and the time's up.
Right. And then you're like, well, now I got to start living. Why didn't I just fucking realize that fucking when I was 20, not caring about shit?
Right. When we were younger, I don't know. Now you make music that I really enjoy. I've been listening to albums.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate that.
22, Robin Zilliams, Cypher.
Yep.
Cypher was right. Like I've enjoyed all of those. They've been like kind of my background music as I'm like writing out scripts or video ideas.
Dude, that's amazing, bro. I love that.
There's only a few types of music I can listen to while like working.
Yep.
And yours falls into that. Like it's perfect. Like a soft melody. It's not. I don't know how to explain it. I don't want to like butcher what you're doing, but like
no, I got you.
I can tell you how I interpret. I can tell you how I interpret the music. It's not overpowering in a way that I have to stop what I'm doing and listen. It's not like a rap. It's not like something else.
Right.
But it's just the perfect amount to like spark a little creativity and keep me like locked in a zone where I can.
Hell yeah,
type.
Bro. And like the best part is like I could consider myself a sample based producer, but my favorite thing about that is like discovering new music that Like I wouldn't like from the 60s, 70s, 50s, things that we would never even knew existed. And then like I'm able to like chop things up, interpret it in a new way, and like shed light on like music we wouldn't even known to have existed. You know what I mean? So that's the beauty of it. Is like for me is I love discovering music from the past, music from the present, stuff that like we don't even know exists, bro. It's sick to hear your interpretation from that because for me that's mine. You know, it's the dig, it's the search, it's the discovery, you know, and then being able to take that and make something new and then have people interpret it their own way, dude. That's why I do it, bro.
I
That's
mean,
sick.
I find the relatability in some ways when I like make like a funny sketch and I like write a
Yep.
joke out or I have a funny video and there's a part of the sketch where I actually don't think it's that funny, but someone else will watch it and be like, "Oh, that's my favorite part." I'm like, "Really? Okay."
Bro,
You know?
that's like I would say 70% of the time someone will hit me up and be like, "Dude, I love that track." And like to me it's like I fucking hated that track, bro. What are you
Right, right.
talking about? Like it's crazy, bro. Yeah, so that right there shows me that it's just like don't get too boggled up on like what I think
Sure.
it
Just
is. You know what I
produce.
mean? Just produce, put it out. People are going to interpret it how they want to interpret it. And I can't do anything about it. You know, all I can do is just do what I'm doing, have fun with it, and fucking go from there, you know?
Obviously I love music. I would be honest. I listen mostly to rap, but you're the first music based guest I've had. I've never had like a person that creates
Hell
music or a
yeah.
musician.
Hell
So
yeah.
it's a little bit of a scary dive for me to just try to have a conversation about something that I mean I love music, but I'm not like in tune with how. Yes, like teach me about sampling, teach me about
Bro,
how you
yeah.
got started, all that stuff. That stuff seems interesting. Everything's interesting if someone's passionate about it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, but that's okay though. You know, you should be able to interpret it how you want to, with or without whatever knowledge you think you don't have. You know what I mean? That's what I like about it. I think it's there shouldn't be any, you know, like don't talk about it if you don't know anything about it. You know what I mean? Um, but with sampling in particular, I always go back to this one time. I don't know, third, fourth grade where I remember like my math teacher, she said something, and then the way that she said it was kind of rhythmic. So I like looped it. I remember as a kid, like she said something, and then I kind of looped it back in my head. You know what I mean? To like where it would sound, where what she said sounded cool to me at the time. And that's kind of where I always like talk about where I started is when I would like hear things in the world that sounded rhythmically nice to me, and then I would just kind of like play it back in my head. You know what I mean? I love this. This is sick. And then that's when I discovered like sample based producers like Jay Dilla, Knowledge, Madlib, all these guys who were not so much like producing like their own original like piano music, drum music, anything like that. They were all sample based producers who would sample off of vinyl. Like that's how it started. Was like sampling off of vinyl, taking something and like chopping it up, slowing it down, pitching it up, doing like using what machinery that we have at our disposal to manipulate this audio into something totally new. You know what I mean? So it's like
It's like a piece of clay. You can mold it in anything you see
exactly,
fit. Yeah.
exactly, exactly. So yeah, I guess I started sampling like maybe when I was like 20. I started like dabbling into it and stuff. I wasn't like really serious about it. And that's when I was like skateboarding way more in life too. I was just skateboarding all the time. So I would probably make like one beat a year, two, three beats a year,
Wow.
nothing crazy at
Right.
all. Like literally, like I'd spend all my time skateboarding, bro. And then I
Right.
think it was, and then yeah. So then I started obviously writing a lot in my early 20s, like trying to like make songs and stuff and rap. I wasn't really producing at all. And it
What
wasn't
did you think you wanted to do? Sorry, to interrupt you. What did you think you wanted to do before that point? Like, did you have any, or were you just kind of trying to figure it out?
bro. Okay, so just
I
quick,
want to know where you where you were gonna end
bro.
up and what you
I
were.
always,
Yeah.
I always think about this too, bro. Like, you know how in like grade school they'd be like, "All right, kids, write down what you want to be when you grow up." on the chalkboard or whatever. And so it's kind of like, I don't know, this is bad but funny at the same time. So I wasn't good at spelling, 3rd, 4th grade, whatever. I put up raper on the chalkboard. Like I added an extra P or something, but I wanted it to be rapper, or I might have forgot a P. I don't know. You know what I mean?
But that's a good sketch idea.
Isn't that's it's
yeah, it's so
bro,
funny.
Like, dude, I'm fucking 3rd, 4th grade. I didn't know, right? But it just stuck with me, dude. That stuck with me, that funny ass moment. But it was ever since a young age, bro. I just wanted to be a rapper, artist, musician. You know what I mean? Young age. And so, yeah, dude, it was always about music.
How do you
Growing up.
tell people that though? How do you tell people? How do they? Especially from our small town, where like if you're gonna do anything outside the box, you're very.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say you're kind of not frowned upon, but you're just not encouraged. It's like it's such an unrealistic dream.
Oh, 100%, bro. And it's still a constant battle of just not paying attention to anyone's.
Yeah.
Like
that's a hard thing to do.
I want to say like, but you know, as I got older, bro, I kind of noticed that it's kind of just, it's a human thing, and like I can't blame them for feeling that way. You know what I mean? Where it's like, you got to get a job. Why are you putting so much time into this? You know what I mean? It's like, it's always just, it's a blue collar city, bro. I'm not about to be like, why aren't you this way for me? You know what I mean? It's like, I'm just going to do me. And I know that the world is beyond these borders of this town. You know what I mean? And
like Truman Show. It's like the Truman Show.
Bro, one of these days I'm waiting for a fucking light to fall from the sky. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like, I'm just like, so it's important for me too to like step out of those bounds, you know, and go to Toronto, London, Detroit. Detroit is fucking like, those are the communities that I want to be a part of, you know, and I do like go there from time to time when I can. And I realize that I have the choice to be around like-minded people. You know what I mean? Like you have a choice to do that. And like, as I got older, as I started realizing that, like, dude, nobody's going to care about you more than you. So like, why am I trying to be this thing for that person?
You have a twisted reality that you think people care when they actually don't.
Oh, bro,
you're irrelevant, and you're irrelevant in everyone's mind.
Bro,
99.9% of the time,
bro. Like Nelly at 10:34 p.m. at night is not thinking about what fucking Charlie down the road is doing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
makes no sense to think that way,
dude. So I really just had to let go of all that, man, and just realize, you know what? Yeah, life is short. Just do what you enjoy doing and don't try to please anyone but yourself, bro. What's the point, you know? And like you said, coming from this city like this, it's tough because you're just surrounded constantly by that
it's like a pull. It's like you're a crab in a barrel and the other crabs are trying to pull you in, but you have to like remind yourself that you can get out of a barrel. Like you can do your own thing.
Yeah,
you're
dude.
Just stuck there by your choice.
Exactly. Yeah. And not like, yeah, being like, why me? It's just like, dude. Yeah. So anyways, back to like, it was really the pandemic that brought me to producing more because, like when we weren't, you know, going to anyone's houses or anything, I didn't have like a producer friend anymore. I didn't have any like one's house that I could go to and record on their music. So I really just had to learn for myself and be like, well, I kind of know how to chop up samples. I could, you know, like kind of just continue doing this, and hopefully down the road I'll be able to learn enough to make my own beats, produce my own music, and record my own vocals. Like these are still like things I'm trying to learn right now. And so last year I didn't really post any, like I have a lot of projects in the tuck right now because last year I was focused on making and getting better. I wasn't like, I'm not going to put out like, actually I did say, I was like, I'm not putting anything out. I'm just going to produce, try to get better. And then next year, if I have enough, I can start putting stuff out. You know what I mean? So that was the main focus for me, dude. And now I'm at a point where it's like, okay, I got a shitload of beats, music, time to just let it all go. You know what I mean? Because I'm literally playing it 24/7. I'm like getting bored of these beats now. You know what I mean? Like
I'm
it's
getting
just,
like weekly or monthly notifications on my Gmail that you're dropping something on Bandcamp. I'm like, my man's dropped like 3 different things in 3 months. Like, how is he doing this?
bro, I'm just that was the goal, is like make enough so that I don't have to worry about like falling into each release, right? Because that's what was happening with like releasing music. It was like every time I kind of just felt like I was falling into a release. You know what I mean? Like it was like made the beat, wrote it, all right, let's put it out, and like there wasn't like any plan to it. You know what I mean? It was just like, yeah, it didn't really feel. And then like you build up those expectations of like, this is sick, I love it, and then when you don't get
Yeah,
what you
what is a successful launch, or what is your expectation of a good
bro,
drop?
to me now is just putting it out. That's the success. You know what I mean? Just putting it out. And like my lady and I, we were having this conversation about like consistency, and like I never really committed to the consistency. It was always just like, all right, I put something out, I'm gonna chill now because I put something out. You know what I mean? I'm chilling, and like I wouldn't even tell myself it's time to chill. It was just what would happen. You know what I mean?
I get it.
I would put something out, and I'd be like, all right,
Did it. Job done.
I did it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Without like
Relatable. Very
without
relatable.
like being like, okay, you know what? I posted something. I only got 2 likes, but that's not the point. I'm not about to get disappointed by it. Only 2 people saw it. The goal should be to commit to the consistency of,
Of
let's just say
improving your craft and uploading your craft. Yeah.
exactly, and not getting like, because I'm an overthinker, bro. I'll overthink. I'll make something. I think it's sick, and then I'll be like, scrap it. I don't want it. You know what I mean? So
Yeah. Of course. Of course.
So I just have been trying to learn to let go of that. You know what I mean? Because it's like,
It's a long pursuit. It's a very long. I think there's a lot of similarities between like trying to make content or videos or podcasts or something that's in some form creative. It's a long journey. Like even if it doesn't go well today or in the next 5 years, you're building a skill set. And as I've
exactly.
gotten older, I've realized the value of the skill set is sometimes a little harder to see, but almost always pays off. Like almost
Oh,
always pays off.
and that exactly is it right there. The being harder to see and like being stubborn with that. Cause that was like
Yes.
my early 20s is like, you're so stubborn. You just want it now. You don't even have the ability to see that further ahead. So you're like, I don't want to commit to
Because
this. Like,
it's because you're taught like do A, get B. But sometimes, and
exactly.
if you're in a non-traditional pursuit, it's more like do A for a long time, and then maybe C and D pops up out of nowhere that you didn't even know about, and that's your
Exactly.
payoff. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's why I'm like dropping so frequently is these tapes, is because yeah, at some point something's going to happen. And that
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
that at that to me that right there is the pursuit now, is the goal. You know what I mean? Is like stay committed to consistently making music every day. Just open up the program. You don't have to like, I don't have to make something crazy. It's just I win if I open up the program and I'm in there for a little bit. That's it. That's it.
There's
So
a really good Big Sean line I fuck with. It was something like, "If you're doing what you love every day, you've already made it." Like that's it,
hundred
and that's the
percent, bro.
mindset. Yeah.
100%. So I'm not saying like it didn't take a while. It took like fucking 15 years for me to even realize that. You know what
Right.
I mean? Like just because, yeah, dude. So after like the first year of the pandemic and stuff, we were all locked in. That's when I just utilized the time to learn. You know what I mean? Learn, fail, try to make stuff. and like trying to understand music theory and putting instruments in the right key and all this stuff. It just took a long time for my brain to learn that stuff, and I'm still learning.
Self-taught? Are you self-taught, or did
100%,
you get?
yeah.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Well,
Everything.
I will say, dude, Steph, Datsun, my fucking homie, like he's taught me so much, bro, and like giving me equipment and fucking just like I was a sponge watching him uh because I was there when he was first starting, bro. I was soaking up all the game, watching him just progress in beat making, dude, kept me so inspired, and he was like an older bro, you know what I mean? And what was dope is we actually met through skateboarding, him and I didn't know like he was making beats at the time, so we just met at the skate park, started skating, and then he was like, yo, check this out, and just fucking started going, and I
That's
was like,
crazy. Who would have thought that skateboarding would actually be so crucial to the music, which is completely
bro
unrelated?
bro, it's they go hand in hand, bro. Honestly, they go hand in hand, and if it wasn't for skateboarding, I probably wouldn't be producing, to be honest. Like
That's crazy.
it's
That's a weird universe we live
bro,
in.
and like it all happened at the same time too, because um when I started skating like a year after the pandemic again, and then I broke my elbow. I snapped it, and dude, that was bad. And then a year later, I hyperextended my knee. And then I was like, after that, I was like, I need a break.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
right.
Like, I went solid for a good 12 years, like no injuries, nothing. And then the arm, and then the knee, and then those were like,
That's a Derrick Rose back-to-back serious injury.
bro, it was, and like, dude, I haven't skated in over like a year and a half. And like, that's the first time in my, like, since I was 12, you know what I mean? Since I picked up a skateboard, I haven't skated in this long. And it's been such like a part of my identity that when I stopped, I felt super lost, bro. I was like, because like all my friends were skateboarding, people like posting clips on Instagram. I'm like seeing it happen, and I just want to do it so bad, but I literally physically can't. You know what I mean? And like, so for that period of time of after my knee injury, I was like who am I? What do I do? You know, and I always go back to the fact that I always had music. I was always doing it, like I said, making beats maybe once or twice or three times a year. You know what I mean? But after the injuries, bro, I was like, well, I'm gonna just go hard with this music then, because it's all I got
That's all
left.
I got. Yeah.
It's all I
Right.
got, because dude, yeah, and skateboarding, like I said, it was so, and it's still ingrained in me, but it's like a personality trait. You know what I mean? It's like it's a culture, it's a brotherhood. It was just everything, bro. Everything. It was skate videos all the time when I get home. People, like I said, and having
I
to
actually remember those. When did you posted those a long time ago, right? You like early first
yeah,
ones?
yeah,
Was
yeah,
that when
yeah.
your Instagram page was early on? It was a lot of skate videos, right? Am I?
Lots of skate
Yeah.
videos, bro. Lots of skate videos. And
Yeah.
then like maybe like 6 months after the fucking pandemic started, I started my own skate brand, skate company, and that lasted about a year, and that was awesome, bro. Like I bought a camera, I was filming all the skaters in Windsor. I put together an entire video selling merch. That was awesome. That was awesome.
I
But
didn't know that. That's cool.
yeah, and near the end of that is when like my elbow injury happened, my knee injury happened. It was just like that. And I don't want to talk anything bad about like having your own business in the space that you love, because that, but that fact alone was starting to like make me resent skateboarding. You know
I
what
get
I
it.
mean? Because
I get it.
it started to become a job. You know what I mean? And like having to be the guy who needs to always appease the skateboarders in the community is a tough job. And I was like being a filmer, editing the videos, making the merch myself. It was
Highly
just,
invested. Yeah. When you're
bro,
that invested, it's hard to appreciate
and then
the
like
craft.
there's my family, my relationship, my personal life, like going, like
It's a lot of weight.
driving to a skate spot. and like filming skateboarders for 4, 5, 6 hours and then like just missing out on a lot of things, bro. It was becoming like personally, it was just becoming too much. You know what I mean? But that once that started to fade, like the music locking into music started to go up. You know what I mean? And now every day I'm like on Ableton, I'm on my program to like make more beats. You know what I mean? And so it was like I try to look at it like chapters. You know what I mean? Like no resentment. It was a chapter in my life. It's over. Like turn the page.
On to the next
Now
one.
what?
Yeah.
Now what am I doing? You know what I mean? Because yeah, so I tried. It was blessings in disguise all around, bro. And sometimes the only way to learn it is to break an elbow or to hurt your knee. You know what I mean? Like these crazy lessons get learned, and so I guess that brings us to today in a sense. And so yeah, just been motivated lately, bro. Honestly.
Let me ask you this, because I know very little about this. When you first, how do we go from like you hearing, whatever, I think you said the fourth grade, your teacher saying something, and then your head, you hear like this beat or track or whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
something that sounds appealing. How do you go from like, I have this idea to finally getting it to where I'm listening to it on my computer here in Spain? Like, I don't need like the hyper in depth, like, I don't need technical term. I'm just curious about the steps.
The plan is like no plan, to be honest, to keep it as simple as possible. It's mainly just like it's searching, digging through, looking through my records, downloading samples on the internet. You know what I mean? Just looking for sounds that might inspire something down the road. You know what I mean? It's not like I have an idea for a beat and I'm like, okay, I want to make this idea and I want to go make it right now. You know what I mean? It's more so like, all right, what's in the database? What do I got? Like what records do I got right now that I could go through? You know what I mean? And I'll like search through the vinyl. If I don't find anything, I got like a folder full of samples that I've been downloading throughout the years, and
it's one big egg hunt. It sounds like one big egg hunt to
pretty much
find treasure. Yeah,
bro. It's like you're going shopping at Value Village or something.
Right.
You're like looking for something that's like a gem. You're looking for a gem, and then once it hits, then the wheels start turning. Then it's like, how do I want to chop this up? You know what I mean? So it's like search first, then produce. You know, and
vocals and stuff like that. If you're adding your own vocals,
yeah. So I know my homie's been hitting me up, being like, "When are you gonna spit on these tracks you're dropping?" Like everyone's like expecting me to like spit on these tracks, and it's there.
Because that's how you started out. You started doing that more so.
Exactly, exactly. And for me right now, I'm not, like I said, I'm not fighting anything. I'm not trying to like drop the next track that's gonna make it big for me. You know what I mean? Like I had to let go of that because that expectation was hurting me more than it was gaining me anything.
Yeah,
you know, like
it's detrimental enough.
Because like when you think that like, oh, this track or this beat tape or this whatever, this video is gonna be like the next big thing and it's gonna like make me catapult to that next level, but it's like, even if it does catapult you to the next level,
nothing changes.
Like, yeah,
the
exactly.
next day you're the same person.
Bro, exactly. So yeah, when I put out beats where I rap on them, that'll be that. And when I put out beat tapes, that'll be that. It's not like I gotta like put myself in a box and only rap to you know what I mean? It's like,
I get it.
It's like, man, I just made this is put out. Enjoy it. If you don't, that's cool too. I mean, you're gonna scroll past everything during the day, so it's not like
true.
I'm bugging or anything, so.
But is there a little bit of an element, because in today's society there's a lot of the like algorithms, and there's like analyzing thumbnails, and I mean, at least for what I'm doing, like analyzing retention times, all those things are kind like it's it's like a bit of a necessary evil, because you could completely avoid it, but if you completely avoid it, then you could be like hitting your head against the wall when
like, why
some
isn't
people
it
are afraid
working?
to look at analytics. Yeah, why isn't it working? But like, well, did you look at the analytics? Like, Sometimes
Exactly.
I see like, oh, a video didn't do well. I'm like, why did it do well? I thought it was a really good topic, and I forgot about it. I just assumed it was a bad video. I go back, I'm like, the audio was fucked. Like,
Yeah,
I didn't
yeah,
even.
yeah,
I'm like, I
yeah.
fucking uploaded bad audio. Like, what am I doing?
Bro, I know, dude. So you're talking about like the science of it, right?
Yes, yeah.
You're talking about like and you, dude, you're right, and that's stuff
The
that I do.
Spotify gods, the algorithms,
Yeah,
the
dude. Like when I post something on Instagram and I only get 2 likes, I'm like, God damn that algorithm, man. Why is it? It's not giving me any love today, bro. That
right.
fucking algorithm, like what the
What a
hell?
weird time we live in. You got to
But
do an
it's like
algorithm dance outside.
I'm like, dude, I'm not about to bow down to this motherfucker. There's no way, no way. But you are correct, bro. With the thumbnails and like,
Marketing, the
I get
packaging.
it,
My friend, I have a
I
friend here
get
who's
it.
actually visiting me. Who's a big YouTuber, and he talks to me. We talk about these things a lot, and he's like, packaging is like 90% of it. Like, then
Oh,
it's
dude,
expected that you deliver, but the packaging is everything.
100%, 100%. So that's where my graphic design skills come into play. You know what I mean? Because like I went to school like by my trade, like my day job is I'm a graphic designer. You know what I mean?
Okay,
That's what
all
I
right.
do. I work for the library in Windsor and I do all the
That's
graphics
hype.
for that. Dude, it's I'm so thankful, but like it took like 11 different jobs in the past 10 years to get to it. You know what I mean? Like I've worked
Yeah, it's a
so
hard one to
like
get.
each year was a new job because I was like, fuck this. I don't want to do this. This sucks. I need something else. You know what I mean? And like so then that's when I went to school for graphic design and I got my diploma, all the bullshit you got to do and then yeah, dude, so it's nice to have that skill set when it comes to the packaging side. You know what I
The
mean? Because
marketing side of it. Yeah.
if I need to make a thumbnail, I know exactly how to do that in like 2 seconds. If I need to fucking edit a video, I know how to do that in like two. If I want to add animations, I know how to do that. You know what I mean? So it's like I try to. I mean, that's how it is these days, bro. You got to have a full wheelhouse
Yeah,
of
you really do.
skills to like get anything done. You know what I mean? If you
To
don't know
get
how
any
to
eyeballs on your stuff,
if you
essentially.
don't know how to like export a video or you know what I mean? Like the small stuff, like it's crazy. So
I
I
mean, just
do
think about.
agree.
I think like maybe from an outside looking in, it seems like a relatively easy task because when you see someone upload a video, you don't really think about all the levels of at least at this level, all the things that went into it. So we're talking about a script, we're talking about knowing how to film a video, we're talking about lighting, we're talking about editing, we're talking about SEO optimization, we're talking about thumbnails. There are so many things that happen for you to see what you see in front of you.
Dude,
It's not an accident that you see what you
you're,
you know.
you're literally preaching, bro. I'm literally going through like just hour like just filming, trying to film something, dude. Is just like the amount of takes it takes just to
Yeah, that
get
too. Right.
that clip. And then you're like, okay, I got to bring this in now. I got to line up the audio. I got to do some coloring. I got to make sure it's exported correctly. Okay, what's the thumbnail I'm using for this? Blah, 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 blah. And like, yeah, dude, it's just what it takes these days, I guess, to be, um, I don't know. I don't know. See,
Successful or
that's,
in front of the eyes of people. Like successful is a harsh word. I would say
yeah,
like
that's
what
what,
it takes to be playing in the game. Like just to enter the
exactly.
table to get to the blackjack table. This is the minimum. You know.
Exactly, exactly. But there is something to say too. It's like focus like so I guess if I have those skill sets now for me I'm just focusing on the quality of what of what the product
Sure.
is now, you know what I
Makes
mean?
sense.
So it's like, okay, I have that skill set of how to package. Now it's just like let's make the best product to me because that's all I'm going to be able to do is that. But dude, that's welcome to 2024, bro. Like
Part of the game.
holy cow. Yeah. So I guess
What
that's
about streaming music? I guess that's another thing I want to talk to you about because I also follow Steph, and I saw that during the pandemic he could no longer perform those shows that he normally does, and it literally blew up his Twitch. I remember in the early days, some of his streams, I don't know, maybe tens of people, and then out of nowhere, hundreds to thousands. It was like,
bro,
yeah, it was insane to watch.
the early Twitch days, bro, those were sick. Those were good days. I
The
know it was
pandemic Twitch
like
days.
I know. It was crazy cuz like Yeah, dude, no one could perform. No one could perform. No one could. So it was like, well, what do we do now? And I remember having those conversations with him. He was like very like nervous, obviously. And
Yeah,
then
that's his
like,
income source. That's his life. That's his everything.
bro, that's everything. So when Twitch came around, that's where like he started to show me that like focusing on the quality is super important because he had the cameras, the lighting, the setup. Like when you walk into his studio, you see the skeleton of what's going on. You know what I mean? And you're like,
Right.
God damn, it takes a lot.
No, his set
Wiring,
was insane.
equipment,
Insanity. Like,
everything. And
yeah.
He's still streaming, you know, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I applaud him, bro. He's like I said, one of my biggest inspirations, you know, and those days were sweet because you sometimes, like for me especially, like when I streamed, I'd make more money on streams than I would out of playing a show like here in
Crazy.
Windsor or something. You know what I mean? Like I'd walk away
Crazy.
with like $800 from like in a month from my payout, and I'll be like, what the
Right.
like, damn, like.
Yeah.
But it was
And you
all
didn't
those.
even leave your house.
Bro, I didn't even leave
You
my
didn't
house. I was wearing sweatpants. I could chill.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. We were talking about the pandemics,
oh,
not being able to do
streaming,
shows,
dude,
streaming, making 800
God,
bucks a month just streaming on Twitch.
dude, and like you got to think like how the world was and what money was and what finances were, dude. Like no one was making money, you know. So it's like in desperate times called desperate measures, and you really
Yeah, yeah,
gotta
yeah.
like. You got to maneuver with the times, you know? So that's what Twitch was. It was just maneuvering with the times, bro, and trying to put food on our tables, you know? And like it created that opportunity to even connect with more people outside of the local scene. Like that was another benefit to that is like we were able to like Steph created a Discord for Twitch, and people started jumping in the Discord and throwing ideas and building a community, and like people we never met before, and some people like people who Steph met on Twitch like came to Windsor, like a homie from Twitch came to Windsor, and we all met up and we chill. It was so like, yeah, like taking the positive from it, bro, and just being like, okay, the world's gone to shit right now, what are we gonna do? Let's make the best of it.
Yeah. I mean, that was the only thing you could do. What else could you do? You could just make music and upload it, and you couldn't leave your house.
It's either
So why
that or
not
just
stream what you're
literally,
doing?
bro, it's 100%, man, 100%. So like, yeah, dude, it was just like, yeah, and then it started. I'm just thinking about it back in the day, bro, because it was such
It's
at a
reminiscing
high.
happily about these moments. Yeah, these are all happy
It was at
memories.
such a high, and then as things started to open up, obviously human nature, we won't want to be around other people. Like the streams, like the Twitch streaming started to go down a little bit because like everyone's going out now, you know. So I was just, it was we squeezed all the juice out of that
Yeah, yeah.
out of that, bro. That was a good time, but I haven't streamed in a while, bro. I gotta stream again. God damn.
Do you do
Yeah,
live performances as well with your music, or like what? How do you do it live? How do you like?
like
How does that work?
shows. Like you mean like
Yeah,
playing a show?
yeah. How does that
Yeah,
work?
dude. Like I've been lately. I've been very like particular about where I play live because I've played so many times in Windsor that like it's kind of gotten to a point where it's like if it's not right, if it's not like 100% right for Windsor, you know what I mean? I'll be very specific on what I do just because like I said, dude, I'm not out here trying to be like, look at me, I'm about to, you know what I mean? Like check out, you know, like I don't know how to explain it without sounding pretentious. I'm really not trying to. I'm really not trying to. It's more so just like I'm not in that headspace of like live playing, like going on the road and being like, I need people to see me perform. It's I don't know. It's just not in my trajectory right
Goals.
now.
Yeah.
You know, my goal is really to just sharpen the sword, sharpen it to the point where it's like when I get to that point, like there's no denying, like, even, you know what I mean, like that for me is the success, you know, the playing of the shows, that's gonna come whether I like it or not, you know what I mean? It's part of the gig. But yeah, dude, I'm not, and like because I have a day job, I'm not like using shows as like my income either. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
it's not a lot of stress from trying to like perform every night or every other night to earn a living. It's
exactly,
much better. You can
exactly.
kind of can be more pure. Yeah, once the money is heavily involved in the art or the the passion project, it does dilute it a little bit. It becomes a little, I don't know.
Yeah, man, and like
Coffee
I
doesn't taste as good.
like I said, I've played the same venue in Windsor so many times throughout my 20s that it's just like I'm good. I'm
Not
good
exciting
with
anymore, is it? It's not that
yeah,
exciting. Yeah.
yeah, and like I recently had a trip to New York. Like Steph took me with him because he got invited to play a show in New York, and I was like, "Dude, yes, I will definitely go because I
Right?
want to check this out so bad." And that was such a dope experience, and it opened my eyes, bro, because it just makes you realize that yeah, this city that I'm in isn't the world. It's just like a little. It's just a speck, you know. And then once you go outside of that, your eyes open up even more, and you're like, there's so much more out here, bro. So it's and that
Do
was a
you need
great
that? Sorry, keep
yes.
going, keep going, keep going,
No,
keep
no,
going, keep
dude.
going.
Dude, I do need that. I do 100%. Like
No, but what I wanted to ask was like, do you to get to another level or to get to where you think your career will be or where you want to be in let's say 10 years from now? Can you still do it and stay in Windsor? Is my question.
mm, you you'd have to be established enough that going out and playing shows isn't your income. You know what I mean? Like particularly, and I'll just use Steph as an example right now. I'm not going to go too deep into how he pays his bills and stuff, but
Yeah, please. Yeah.
he like made a course on how to make beats and like just diversifying his ability to bring in income alleviates the pressure of having to travel to Los Angeles, New York, just to
For
like
tours and yeah.
yeah, and half the time, bro, if you're not like headlining, your like tours are like you're breaking even. If you're not like bringing merch, if you're not like, you know, bringing in pull, if the people of that place don't know who you are, like you don't like the amount of money you're spending on gas, travel, all these things, it's all expenses too, you know?
I
So
got
like
you. Yeah,
Windsor's a great place because things are relatively cheaper than other places in Ontario, like Toronto specifically.
sure.
Um, and having access to Detroit allows that big city feel without having to travel far. You know what I mean? So
And without
like
having to pay the big city
right?
price.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So I can pay $5 cross the border and then like be around people that I normally wouldn't be around and then just come back home later that night without
gotcha.
fucking spending over like
Yeah.
millions of dollars. So to answer your question, dude, I think it's necessary, but if you're able to diversify your income, it's not necessary. I guess is what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? So,
Well, if
and yeah,
someone comes
dude.
to you with an offer, what if someone comes in, okay, let's hypothetical. If someone comes to you with an offer that says like, "Hey, we're going to do a show, this band, we need you to come in to New York. We're doing shows twice a week." It would make sense if you're based out of there at least for like,
Yeah,
a year, 2 years, like would you pack up and do it or would you be like, "No, I still want to do it from my location. I like the
yeah.
freedom that gives me."
It would have to be a fucking sweet deal, bro, in order for
Right.
that to be the case. Just because like my family is in Windsor, dude. Like
I
I had
gotcha.
a just like I'd have a tough time being away, especially my grandparents. They're at that age where it's like I don't want to be too far from them, and definitely not using it as like an excuse or a crutch, but it's that family to me, dude, is more important than anything. So if if it was a deal that was able to pay for me and I can help support them, I would probably take the deal. I'd be like, I would sacrifice the year to do that. But like I said, it would have to be a really good proposition in order for that to be the case. You know, it's sometimes like you get dangled that fruit in front
carrot.
of you. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And you're just
It'd be
like,
tempting.
damn, that could be, you know, but
Yeah. It could be
I
tempting.
it's like 90% of the time it's not worth it. You know what
It's
I mean?
not.
Like it's really not worth it, especially like yeah, I'm not the type of guy to sacrifice my integrity
For a
for
bag.
dude, it's not
It's
worth
not
it
worth it.
because as fast as that bag came in is as fast as it's about to fucking leave, bro. And
Yeah, it
that's
means nothing. It's so irrelevant.
that
Especially as we get
it's
older, we realize how irrelevant it is.
bro, and like the way
A
that
couple
just
thousand extra a month doesn't change anything if you're already like living
bro.
comfortably. No, it doesn't
Nah,
do anything.
nah, nah. It's not about to change anything, you know? So it's really worth and like yeah, like that carrot would have been worth it when I was 20, 21. You know,
Yeah.
ignorant, gullible, and just
Hmm.
wanting attention, right? Like that's what kind of growing up was. And
Right.
yeah, the older you get, the more you realize it's like, yeah, no one cares about you more than you, bro. No one's gonna try and
Yeah.
like push you to that next level more than you know? So once you realize that, bro, you're just like, yeah,
Yo, I
it's
remember. I'll tell you a funny story. So as I was about to quit engineering, my original plan was to quit engineering and go study abroad in Spain, just simply because I wanted to get out and I was bored of my
yeah,
environment. I actually had no ability to make income from this other thing that I'm currently doing, which is content creation and YouTube and stuff like that. So on my last week of work in engineering, mind you, I've already secured, my papers for Spain. I have the university. I've been accepted. I start school within a year, and this is before the pandemic. And I go into work and I tell my boss, like I've been there for about 8 months at this point, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna have to quit. He's like,
yep,
really? What's
yep,
going on? He's like, oh, like I thought you were gonna stay on this department forever. You're a young guy. We hired you to be here for a while. I was
forever.
like, I'm like, no, I'm gonna have to give that a miss. I'll have to quit. I'm sorry.
Oh
He's like,
boy,
he's like, is it the money? I was like, no, I have a like, here's the paper. I'm going to university. I'm leaving. I'm like, I'm leaving the country. I'm leaving the continent. I'm going to Spain. Like, I'm
yeah,
out. He's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
he's like, we could pay you 10% more. You know, I'm like, my man, it's over. You
Jeez,
gotta let it
dangling,
go.
he's like dangling that in
Dangle that
front of
carrot. It's like a relationship where that one toxic person can't admit that it's over. I'm like, my man, look at me. It's over. You gotta let it go.
boy,
But it was a
oh
funny moment. It was
boy,
just like it was a funny moment because it was like it's almost like you're out of the matrix, but it's one
bro.
last like tug to see if they can
Yep, yep,
keep you in it. You
yep,
know.
yep,
So
yep,
I always
yep.
remember that moment. I'm like, damn, he just offered me like 10% at that time was like 10,000 extra dollars a year. I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
well,
yeah.
it ain't gonna change nothing. Like if I make 70 or 80K as an engineer, who gives a fuck?
Yeah,
I
no,
don't have any big
exactly,
expenditures.
bro.
I'm
Exactly,
out.
bro. And like not to like get too apolitical, but once you realize what the Canadian dollar is and what like and
Yeah.
what banks actually are, you're kind of just like yeah, that 80,000 that I think I'm going to get probably is like 50,000 if I think about it after just like the worth of the Canadian dollar slash what taxes are in this country. So you kind of you definitely made the right
I think
decision, bro.
the other thing is that I think this is a big thing that people forget. It's like just because someone, and this goes with like any job that you maybe don't like or is boring or that you don't want to do. It's like just because they offer you 80, 90, 160, whatever the amount is, that doesn't mean you get that money today. That
No,
means you have to
bro.
work a year in the thing that you hate to get the money.
Bro, the guy
Like,
was like, I thought you were going to be here forever. You're
yeah,
like, wait, what?
like that's the one thing that really was like kind of unfortunate when I first started doing engineering. When I got a job, I was like, I negotiated a contract and it was like a really good pay. I was like 70, 80,000 American, I think at the time.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, like 80, let's fucking go. I told the boys like
Yep.
drinks on me tonight. And then I sat there and I'm like, well, Monday I have to be at work at 8. So that means I have to wake up at 6.
You're not
And I have to
getting the
do
whole thing.
yeah. And then I'm like, fuck, I gotta do that 5 days a week. I gotta do that 5 days a week for a
Bro.
whole year. Oh, I was like, dude, as soon as that hit me, I was like, This is not that like it's. I know it sounds pretentious, maybe because that's obviously a good amount of money. But the reality is, like you're not just going to get handed that money. You have to earn that money. You have to go into work and
Exactly.
get that
You
money.
got to think about what you're sacrificing in order to get that.
You're looking at the gold that you are being thrown, but the reality is you have to mine that gold. You have to
Yeah.
refine it.
Yep.
You have to
Yep.
go get that. You have to find it. It's not like you
What?
just get here's 70K. Good luck.
Yeah. You're not thinking
It's
about
not an NBA contract.
You're not thinking about the pathway there. You're just thinking about
Right.
the prize.
The bag at the end.
Yeah.
The pot of
Yeah.
the pot at the end of the rainbow.
So how long have you been in Spain for?
Since last November. So about a year and a couple months.
Okay, damn. So how long is the program that you're in?
So, long story short, the pandemic happened. The school started
that was
online.
around that time, eh?
Yeah, I quit the job. Pandemic happened. School started online. I did a year of online masters. As I was doing masters, I was applying for like remote, like content creator related jobs, social media manager jobs.
Yep.
Ended up getting an offer that was way better than any engineering salary in Spain. I said, fuck it, don't need engineering. I'm going to do this full time.
Yeah.
Fully
dude.
remote, live here. So I actually didn't finish that degree, and it's still waiting for me at the University of Barcelona. I have one semester and one thesis left if I ever want to. For the clout.
Yeah.
It wouldn't even be for like, I wouldn't need it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Tell people I have a master's in engineering. I'm a special snowflake.
Yeah. Fuck, bro. That's amazing though. You just said no more of this. I'm gonna go chase
I'm out.
what brings me enjoyment.
That's it. That was the only decision making left, because at that point I was already like, approaching the end of my 20s. I was like, dude, I've tried this. I did 3 different jobs.
Yeah.
I don't like doing this. Like, I don't. Why am I like lying to myself?
Exactly.
So I have to be brutally honest. I'm like, the other thing is like, you have to be honest if you don't like doing something that you're kind of like on a train track, but you're going in the wrong direction.
Yeah,
and it's really easy to stay on the train. The train is comfortable. It's a nice ride, but the longer you stay, the longer you have to go back. So get off at the first stop and take your loss, and then start going back the other way. Like you're going the wrong way.
And like that's what's sold to people is the comfortability.
Yes,
you know what I mean. Like that's what people buy. Like that's what people.
That's what they want to hear. Like, that's going to be a comfortable ride. First class, we're going to have food for you. You're like, but
nah, bro,
on this train?
nah, dude. That's very eye-opening too, and
we're approaching bro. We did 50 minutes. Believe it or not, that flew by. I had a lot of fun. I also wanted to ask you, I guess, long term, what is your big dream? What is your aspiration? Obviously, short term, you told me you're just working on getting your music out, getting better, sharpening the sword. But in an ideal world, do you take time to think about what best case scenario is, or what you do want to achieve?
If I can put a roof over my head and pay for my bills with the thing that I love to do, that to me is the successful goal. There's no like, I want to get on Apple's top 5 playlist. It's not like that specific, It's more so like if I can figure out a way to sustain a happy and healthy life while doing what I love to do, that'll be amazing. And like we've talked about before, bro, it's not a comfortable ride either. And that's the realization. It takes time to realize that it's not going to be easy, because you just want it to be. You know what I mean? It's like, why didn't my post get more than 2 likes? But I want to quit right now. But it's like, no, dude, you got to tell yourself that it's like, it's not going to be easy and it's going to take time. So it's just like the long-term goal, bro, is, like I said, being able to just support myself and my personal life with everything that I do with what I love to do. You know what I mean? And it comes with so much more detail. You know what I mean? It's like, are you going to post on Spotify, or are you going to just do Bandcamp? How are you going to promote this? What's your plan for that? And that's all that just comes with it. You know what I mean? That's
part of the game.
You have to continuously tell yourself that just keep going, just keep going. Don't worry about it. Just keep going. Don't worry, so yeah.
That's a really good point. That's a good point. I had a conversation with someone like closer to me, and they said like, oh, this didn't do this well, or like, are you making enough to like live off this? And to both answers, I said, yeah, no, I didn't do well. No, I didn't make enough. No, this isn't close enough to what I wanted. And he's like, well, when are you going to quit? I was like, probably never.
Yeah, no,
I was
exactly.
I was like, probably never. The conclusion was the same. Like, I love doing it. I don't care. Like, I'm stubborn. I'll keep doing it.
Dude, exactly. And like
if I don't figure it out, I'll find something on the way that I think will be worthwhile.
Exactly, bro. And like we said before, dude, it's not like, oh, this one opportunity that I have coming up is gonna be sustainable for the next 3 years. It's like that one opportunity is gonna help for the next 3 weeks, but it's like what's after that. You know what I mean? You're still gonna be on that same base level, and I have to like continuously tell myself that it's like this one project isn't gonna catapult me to where I want to that.
Yes.
Feeling
it's
of
not
being,
it's not just an A to B. It's like we said, it's like an A to a C to a D to a F.
Exactly,
like who knows where the hell we're going.
bro. So when I zoom out and think on a macro level, that's what my answer to that, you know what I mean, is like
that's great. Yeah.
Is knowing that continuously sharpening the sword will have the outcome of a very sharp sword, I guess you could say.
Right,
you know what I mean? But like,
it seems stupid to say it out loud, but it makes complete sense.
Exactly,
when you think about
bro.
It. Yeah.
Exactly, man. So
it's beautiful. I mean, I'm a fan. I enjoy your music,
dude. And I just want to say thanks, bro, for being one of the very few people who actually purchased the tape online. And it's like, you know,
it's
what,
fire.
bro?
I mean,
like,
I think most people should give it a rip. Honestly, it's fire. I'm gonna send it to as many people as I can.
I honestly, that means so much, you know, and that right there is also fuel for what I do. You know what I mean? Hearing people's interpretations, them having such positive feedback is like, damn, okay, like sick. I'm about to like feel energized to go in the studio now. You know what I mean? So
that's a beautiful part of life. No, that's a beautiful part because there's times in my life when I was doing stuff that like all it took was like one person to say, "Yeah, that was pretty funny, dude." I was like, "Really?"
That's all it takes.
I was like, "Damn, someone liked that," and then I'm like, "Okay, I'll make more of that." And then at some point, it's like, "Oh, 100 people like that," and I just don't even pay attention anymore. I'm just gonna keep doing it now.
Exactly, bro. Exactly, man. So, nah, dude, I really appreciated this, man. Honestly.
There was a fun conversation. I'll leave links to we're Instagram or Bandcamp. What would you?
Yeah, Instagram and Bandcamp would be perfect, bro. Yeah.
Okay, we'll make some clips out of this. We're gonna make some cool fire clips.
Sweet, man.
We'll learn again. Like if you ever want to do this again, I'm always up for
I love having conversations, man. Anytime you have questions or you want to do a pod, just hit me up, bro. Honestly.
Beautiful. Thanks for your time.